Kareem, what is the likelihood that Chris Brancato and Paul Eckstein, the creators and writers of The Godfather of Harlem, will bring the character Louis Farrakhan into their slanderous series? What's the likelihood of that? Well, we'll have to see. But Mr. Brancato and Mr. Eckstein appear to have outlined their ideas of extending the series beyond their initial expectation of the series, as delineated in a New York Post article, and we'll read from that article. Brancato says the initial intention was to cover 1 calendar year per season, but he and Eckstein eventually rethought that approach as season 1 of The Godfather of Harlem progressed. Quote, because Malcolm X dies in 1965, that would mean only 3 seasons of this wonderful actor, Nigel Thatch. He says, now we're thinking, maybe we won't have to do each season as a calendar year. Maybe we can do a couple of seasons of 1964 and 65. We have all kinds of things in store for viewers as the seasons move along, not the least of which is the whole country is changing at a rapid step, he says, Brancato. In 1964, you'll see more of the beginnings of more violent protests and a violent response from the KKK and others. By season 4 and 5, you're going to see afros replacing short-cut hair in Harlem, and the Black Panthers emerging as young black men by the score are drafted into Vietnam and taken out of the community. The audacity of these white boys to take our painful history and paint it in such an ugly way. And we're not even insulted by that. It is intelligent on our part to expect Chris Brancato and Paul Eckstein to build drama leading to the death of Malcolm X. That's expected. And since they have already portrayed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as sinister and unethical, which they have, then why should they leave the Honorable Louis Farrakhan out of this slanderous series, since he was very close to Malcolm X, and then he became the national spokesperson for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad after Malcolm X was killed by the United States government. Now, for years, the satanic families have been deceptively trying to infer that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan was involved in the murder of Malcolm X. They say the same thing of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but neither one of them were hoisted into prison or brought before court. Now, obviously, these are 2 of the most hated men in America. And if you believe that and had real evidence, wouldn't they be behind bars, at least brought to court? But none of that even occurred. Not in the 60s and up to this day, it has not. Which means they have nothing except lies coming through Hollywood. Now, to me, it's inconceivable that any black actor, Forrest Whitaker, Nigel Thatch, and Giancarlo Esposito, would go along with scenes that defame the integrity of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan while he is among us. Well, period, but especially while he's among us. That they would do this for the sake of $1 and fame. These veteran actors are well aware of the fickleness of the public in associating them with the characters they portray. I heard Giancarlo Esposito in an interview state this himself. Therefore, these actors know the propensity of the people to adopt attitudes based on their fictional representation of real people. You know what I'm saying is the truth. Now you will be tested to see if you're a lackey and a lapdog for the synagogue of Satan. And so far, it don't look like any of you are faring that well, but we understand. Those who know these actors, these polished veteran actors, should help strengthen them to take a stand against the synagogue of Satan in its wicked aim to incite murder in the hearts of the ignorant and gullible masses for the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. They just need help. They're good-hearted brothers, I know that. And there may be so much involved in their Hollywood career, they don't understand the magnitude of the roles that they're portraying. Or maybe they do and just don't care. But I like to judge it to their head and not to their heart. So we should help them take a stand for a great man, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, again, who has boldly stood for us for more than 6 decades.